Have you ever faced a challenge that seemed insurmountable? Picture this: you're caught in a whirlwind of stress, deadlines closing in, and the weight of the world on your shoulders. Now, imagine tapping into a timeless wisdom that could transform your perspective and lighten that load. What if I told you there's a path, paved by ancient teachings, that can guide you through the chaos of modern life? In a world buzzing with distractions, how do we find clarity? The answers lie in the simple yet profound principles of Buddhism. They whisper secrets about compassion, mindfulness, and the art of letting go. As you navigate your daily struggles, consider this: what if each moment offered a lesson, a chance to grow? Let's unlock the power of the Dharma together. Can you feel the pull of curiosity? Stay with me as we explore how these age-old teachings can resonate in your life today. Picture the calm amidst the storm, the peace in a crowded room. What if your greatest challenges could become your greatest teachers? As we journey through this, remember, every step you take could lead to a profound shift in how you experience the world. Ready to dive in? Let's go! There's something quite profound about the practice of mindfulness. It's like a gentle nudge reminding me to slow down and truly exist in the moment, rather than getting lost in the whirlwind of daily life. I often find myself caught up in the hustle and bustle of work, responsibilities, and endless to-do lists. But when I consciously take a step back and practice mindfulness, I realize how much I miss when my mind races ahead to what's next. It's almost as if I'm watching my life unfold from the sidelines instead of fully participating. When I'm practicing mindfulness, whether it's during a simple cup of coffee in the morning or a walk in the park, I focus on my senses. I notice the aroma of the coffee, the warmth of the cup in my hands, and even the gentle rustling of leaves around me. It's in these moments that I feel a profound connection to the present. Stress and anxiety tend to melt away as I ground myself in the here and now. It's like a reset button for my mind, allowing me to appreciate life's simple pleasures rather than worrying about what's around the corner. Mindfulness also teaches me to acknowledge my thoughts and feelings without judgment. I've learned to observe my racing thoughts as if they were clouds passing by in the sky. Instead of getting swept away by them, I can simply watch them come and go. This practice has been invaluable in managing stress and anxiety, enabling me to respond to situations with clarity rather than reacting impulsively. It's empowering to realize that I have the ability to choose how I engage with my thoughts and emotions. Moreover, being present fosters a deeper connection with others. When I engage in conversations with mindfulness, I truly listen. I focus on what the other person is saying rather than planning my response while they're talking. This has enriched my relationships, allowing for more meaningful interactions. I've noticed that friends and family appreciate the genuine attention I give them, and it creates an atmosphere of trust and understanding. Incorporating mindfulness into my daily routine has become a cornerstone of my well-being. It's not just about setting aside time for meditation, it's about weaving presence into everything I do. Whether I'm cooking dinner or simply sitting in traffic, I try to remain aware of my surroundings and my feelings. This practice has transformed the mundane into something extraordinary, reminding me that life is happening right now, and it's worth savoring. Compassion and loving-kindness, or metta, are concepts that have truly reshaped my approach to life and relationships. At first, I thought these ideas were just about being nice or polite to others, but they delve much deeper. Cultivating compassion is about understanding the struggles of others and extending kindness, not just in words but in actions as well. It starts with me. Learning to be compassionate towards myself is the first step. I often find myself caught in a cycle of self-criticism. But when I practice self-compassion, I remind myself that everyone makes mistakes and faces challenges. This shift in perspective allows me to treat myself with the same kindness I would offer a friend. I've learned to embrace my flaws and shortcomings, which has significantly reduced my inner turmoil. When I'm kinder to myself, I find it easier to extend that same grace to others. Interacting with others through the lens of compassion has transformed my relationships. I've become more patient and understanding, especially in difficult situations. Instead of reacting with frustration or anger, I pause and consider what the other person might be going through. This has led to more harmonious interactions and a greater sense of community. When I approach others with loving kindness, it's like a ripple effect. It encourages them to do the same, creating a cycle of positivity. Metta meditation is a practice I've embraced to cultivate these feelings. I sit quietly and begin by wishing myself happiness, health, and peace. Then, I extend those wishes to loved ones, acquaintances, and even those I find challenging. This practice has been eye-opening. It's amazing how focusing on goodwill can shift my perspective. Over time, I've noticed that harboring positive intentions towards others enhances my own sense of well-being. Ultimately, compassion and loving kindness are about building connections. In a world that can feel disconnected and harsh, these practices serve as a reminder of our shared humanity. When I allow compassion to guide my actions, I contribute to a more empathetic world, fostering not just personal peace but also a sense of belonging and unity with those around me. ####impermanence, anitya, understanding the concept of impermanence, or anitya, has been a profound revelation in my life. We often cling to things, whether it's our relationships, possessions, or even our own identities, believing they will last forever. However, the reality is that everything is in a constant state of flux. Embracing this truth has helped me navigate life's inevitable changes with more grace and acceptance. When I reflect on impermanence, I find comfort in knowing that difficult times are transient. Challenges I face today won't last forever, they are simply phases in my life. This acknowledgement has been particularly helpful during moments of stress or sadness. Instead of feeling trapped in my circumstances, I remind myself that this, too, shall pass. It's a liberating thought that allows me to approach difficulties with a sense of resilience. On the flip side, recognizing the impermanence of joyful moments has also changed my perspective. I've learned to savor experiences as they happen, knowing they will eventually fade. Whether it's a beautiful sunset, a shared laugh with friends, or a milestone achievement, I try to be fully present and appreciate these moments. This awareness enhances my gratitude and enriches my life, allowing me to embrace joy without the fear of losing it. Impermanence has also transformed my relationships. I've come to understand that people change, and so do the dynamics between us. Rather than resisting these changes, I've learned to adapt and grow alongside my loved ones. This flexibility fosters deeper connections, as we can navigate life's ups and downs together without clinging to outdated notions of who we are or who we should be. Ultimately, embracing impermanence has taught me to live with an open heart. It encourages me to release my attachments and to approach life with curiosity and acceptance. By recognizing that nothing is fixed, I find myself more willing to engage with the world around me, ready to embrace whatever comes next, whether it's a challenge or a blessing. Life, in all its fleeting beauty, becomes a journey worth savoring. In a world that often encourages us to cling to relationships, possessions, and even ideas, learning to practice non-attachment feels like a breath of fresh air. It's not about becoming indifferent or disengaged, rather, it's about cultivating a sense of freedom and ease in our interactions with the world. When I first encountered the idea of non-attachment, I was skeptical. How can I care for something or someone without becoming attached? But then I realized it's about appreciating what I have without letting it define me. For instance, I've learned to enjoy my possessions without becoming overly attached to them. I value my belongings and take care of them, but if something were to break or be lost, I remind myself that it's not the end of the world. This mindset has not only alleviated anxiety but has also allowed me to declutter both my physical space and my mind. In relationships, non-attachment has ushered in a new level of intimacy. I've come to understand that true connection doesn't rely on possession or ownership. It's about mutual respect and appreciation for one another. By letting go of the need to control or possess, I've found that my relationships have flourished. I can enjoy my time with loved ones without the fear of losing them, which paradoxically creates a more profound bond. Non-attachment doesn't mean being aloof, rather, it's about embracing the present moment fully. I've learned to experience joy without clinging to it and to navigate sorrow without being consumed by it. This approach has led to a more balanced emotional life, where I can accept both highs and lows without becoming overly attached to either. It's a freeing realization that allows me to experience life more fully. Moreover, practicing non-attachment fosters a sense of peace within me. I no longer feel the weight of expectations that come from holding on too tightly. Instead, I can approach life with curiosity and openness, responding to situations as they arise rather than being tethered to preconceived notions of how things should be. This shift has allowed me to live more authentically, embracing the fluidity of life with grace and resilience. ### Right action and ethical living. The exploration of right action and ethical living has become a fundamental aspect of my life. It's about making conscious choices that align with my values and promote well-being, not just for myself but for the collective. At first glance, it may seem like a lofty ideal, but I've found that even small, everyday decisions can have a significant impact. One of the first things I realized is that ethical living is rooted in awareness. It's about being mindful of how my actions affect others and the environment. For instance, I've made a conscious effort to reduce my consumption and be more sustainable. Whether it's choosing local produce or minimizing waste, I've come to appreciate how these choices contribute to a healthier planet. It's empowering to know that my actions, no matter how small, can create a ripple effect. Right action also extends to how I treat others. I strive to engage with kindness and respect, recognizing that everyone is on their own journey. This mindset has transformed my interactions, encouraging me to approach conflicts with empathy rather than defensiveness. By focusing on understanding rather than judgment, as I go through life, I've started to realize how much weight we carry with our attachments. It's like we're walking around with a backpack full of bricks, relationships, possessions, expectations, all these things that we think define us. But what if I told you that learning to let go of those attachments can actually lighten your load? Non-attachment doesn't mean you stop caring, it's more about finding freedom in your relationships and experiences without being chained to them. I remember a time when I was obsessed with a particular job. I thought that if I didn't get that promotion, my life would somehow be less valuable. I poured so much energy into it, thinking that my worth was tied to that position. But when I finally stepped back and practiced non-attachment, I realized that my identity wasn't dependent on my job title. I could find joy in my work without clinging to the idea of climbing the corporate ladder. It was liberating to recognize that my happiness could come from within, rather than from external validation. In relationships, non-attachment plays a crucial role too. I used to think that love meant possession. If I loved someone, I had to hold on to them tightly. But that mindset can lead to suffocation, both for myself and the other person. When I started practicing non-attachment, I found that I could love more deeply and freely. I learned to appreciate the moments we shared without fearing the future or dreading the end. It transformed my interactions and allowed for deeper connections based on trust and respect rather than fear and control. Another aspect of non-attachment is letting go of material possessions. I used to be a collector of things, shoes, gadgets, you name it. My home felt cluttered, and my mind was no different. When I decided to declutter my life, I experienced a sense of relief I hadn't anticipated. I realized that my worth wasn't tied to what I owned. By practicing non-attachment to my belongings, I could enjoy what I had without constantly needing more. The fewer things I clung to, the more space I created for experiences and relationships that truly mattered. Finally, non-attachment teaches us to embrace change. Life is like a river, it flows, it twists, and sometimes it throws us into unexpected waters. By practicing non-attachment, I learned to navigate those changes without resistance. Whether it's a career shift, a breakup, or a move to a new city, the ability to let go has made each transition smoother. It's a reminder that everything is temporary, and by releasing my grip on what I think I need, I can find peace in the impermanence of life. ### Right action and ethical living. Living ethically is something I've come to appreciate deeply. It's not just about following rules, it's about aligning my actions with my values. The concept of right action in Buddhist philosophy pushes us to examine our choices and their impacts on ourselves and others. I remember a time when I made decisions based on convenience rather than consideration. It often left me feeling disconnected or guilty. But when I started to consciously choose actions that reflect my values, I noticed a significant shift in my sense of self and community. One of the first things I did was evaluate how my choices affected those around me. Simple things, like being more mindful about how I treated waitstaff or being considerate in conversations, made a difference. I realized that every action, no matter how small, ripples out and affects others. It's a humbling experience to recognize that my behavior contributes to the larger tapestry of human experience. Choosing kindness and respect became my guiding principles, allowing me to connect on a deeper level with people I encountered daily. Furthermore, ethical living extends to our consumption habits. I started to ask myself questions like, where does this product come from, or what are the broader implications of my choices? For example, I shifted towards supporting local businesses and sustainable practices. Understanding the impact of my purchasing decisions not only made me feel good about my contributions to the community but also encouraged a more sustainable lifestyle. It's fascinating how interconnected everything is. When I make ethical choices, I'm not just benefiting myself but also contributing to the well-being of the planet. Another significant aspect of right action is honesty. I used to believe that small lies or withholding the truth wouldn't hurt anyone, but I quickly learned how they eroded trust. Embracing honesty in all aspects of my life has been a game changer. It has fostered authenticity in my relationships and created a space of openness. I find that when I speak my truth, even when it's uncomfortable, it strengthens my connections and paves the way for deeper understanding. Finally, ethical living also involves taking responsibility for my actions. I've learned that accountability is essential for personal growth. When I make mistakes, acknowledging them rather than deflecting blame allows me to learn and develop. This practice of self-reflection encourages me to act with integrity and strive for better choices in the future. It's empowering to know that I have the ability to shape my life through conscious decisions, contributing positively to both my own well-being and that of those around me. ### non-attachment and right action. As I reflect on the interconnectedness of non-attachment and right action, I can't help but see how these concepts complement each other beautifully. Non-attachment encourages me to approach life with a sense of openness, while right action grounds my choices in ethical considerations. The two principles create a harmonious balance, allowing me to navigate relationships and experiences without being weighed down by expectations or regrets. When I practice non-attachment, I'm able to pursue right action with a clearer mind. I no longer feel the pressure of needing to achieve a specific outcome, which frees me to make choices based on what truly aligns with my values. For instance, when I volunteer for a cause I care about, I do it not for recognition or a sense of duty, but simply because it resonates with who I am. This mindset shift has transformed how I engage with the world around me. Moreover, non-attachment helps me to accept the outcomes of my actions without clinging to them. I can put effort into a project or relationship, but I've learned to let go of the need for specific results. This has been particularly valuable in my professional life, where I often collaborate with others. By focusing on doing my best while remaining unattached to the outcome, I find I can work more effectively and enjoy the process, regardless of the final result. In my relationships, practicing non-attachment allows me to support others in their journeys without imposing my expectations on them. I can encourage my friends and family to pursue their passions while respecting their choices, even if they differ from mine. This has fostered a sense of mutual respect and understanding, creating a nurturing environment where everyone feels free to grow. Ultimately, the combination of non-attachment and right action enriches my life in ways I never anticipated. It encourages me to live with intention while freeing me from the burdens of fear and possessiveness. I find that the more I embody these principles, the more joy and peace I experience in my daily life. It's a continuous journey, but one that offers a profound sense of fulfillment and connection to the world around me. ### meditation and inner peace. Finding peace in this chaotic world can feel like searching for a needle in a haystack. I've often found myself caught up in the whirlwind of daily responsibilities, battling stress and anxiety. That's when I stumbled upon meditation. At first, I was skeptical. How could sitting in silence possibly help me deal with the pressures of modern life? But as I delved deeper into the practice, I started to notice subtle changes in my mindset and overall well-being. Meditation, I realized, was not just about quieting the mind, it was about creating a sanctuary within myself, a place where I could retreat and recharge. Integrating meditation into my daily routine was a game changer. I began with just 5 minutes each morning. It felt awkward at first, sitting there with my thoughts racing like a freight train. But gradually, I learned to embrace those thoughts without judgment. They became like clouds passing through the sky, present but not permanent. This shift in perspective allowed me to approach challenges with a sense of clarity and calm. I could finally see that my thoughts didn't have to dictate my emotions or my actions. Instead, I could acknowledge them, let them go, and return to the stillness within. The beauty of meditation lies in its simplicity. You don't need fancy equipment or a specific setting to practice. Whether I'm at home, in a park, or even in my car during a lunch break, I can always find a moment to breathe and center myself. I learned to focus on my breath as it flowed in and out, anchoring me to the present moment. This mindful breathing became a lifeline during particularly stressful days. Whenever I felt overwhelmed, I would close my eyes and take a few deep breaths, allowing the tension to melt away. It was like hitting a reset button on my emotions. As I continued my meditation practice, I became more aware of my inner dialogue. I noticed how often I was critical of myself, how easily I let negative thoughts spiral out of control. Through meditation, I started cultivating a gentler, more compassionate voice within me. I learned to treat myself with the same kindness I would offer a friend in distress. This inner peace began to radiate outward, improving my interactions with others. I found myself responding to conflicts with patience and understanding, rather than reacting impulsively out of frustration or anger. The journey toward inner peace is ongoing, but meditation has given me the tools to navigate life's ups and downs with greater equanimity. Each practice is a step toward a deeper understanding of myself and the world around me. I've come to appreciate that it's not about achieving a perfect state of calm, it's about embracing the ebb and flow of life while maintaining a sense of inner stability. Meditation has become my anchor, a reminder that even amidst chaos, I have the power to find peace within. As we wrap up our journey through Buddhist principles and their incredible relevance in our modern lives, I want you to take a moment and reflect. Think about the challenges you face daily, those moments that push you to your limits. How can you apply these teachings to transform that struggle into strength? Remember, every breath is an opportunity to practice mindfulness. Imagine if, instead of reacting impulsively, you paused for a moment, centered yourself, and responded with wisdom and compassion. How would that change your relationships, your work, your entire life? The Dharma isn't just a set of ancient teachings, it's a toolkit for navigating the complexities of our existence. So, I ask you, what small change can you implement today? Can you embrace impermanence and let go of what no longer serves you? Or perhaps, can you cultivate gratitude for the seemingly mundane moments? As you step back into the world, carry these insights with you. Let them inspire you to be a beacon of compassion and understanding. And remember, every day is a new chance to apply these principles. What will your story be? How will you write your next chapter? Keep asking yourself these questions, and let the journey unfold.